The air changes, heavy, suffocating. The mushroom hero freezes, eyes wide, breath shaking as danger presses down like a storm. One step. Thud. The ground trembles beneath a predator's claw. Another step. Heat surges, flames lick the sky as the great bird turns, its presence alone enough to burn courage into ash. Power radiates from it, raw, unquestionable dominance. Then the voice comes, calm, cold, absolute. What qualifications do you have to demand something from me? This isn't a warning, it's a test, and for the first time, the mushroom hero understands. Words alone won't be enough. To stand here, to speak, to survive, he must prove his worth. The glare sharpens. Emerald light floods the air, so intense it feels like the world itself is being judged. The giant bird's eyes burn with authority, ancient, merciless, as if seeing straight through flesh and soul. Then, slash. A single motion, faster than thought. The wind screams, his power tears through space, carving a warning into the ground. Not an attack, a demonstration. The flames explode nearby, heat crashing over the tiny figures behind. 3 chicks frozen in fear, their cheerful chirps swallowed by terror. The mushroom hero feels it then, the gap between them. Strength like a mountain, in him, a speck standing at its feet. Yet even so, he doesn't run, because if he steps back now, he loses everything. The ground shatters. The giant bird slams down like a falling star, claws tearing earth apart, heat and dust exploding outward. It wasn't aimed at them, but the message is clear. One step closer, and you disappear. The chicks stumble back, tiny wings shaking, eyes wide with panic. Even Piggy freezes, his usual bravado swallowed by the pressure rolling off that massive body. And then, silence. No flames, no follow-up strike. Just the sound of the earth settling, and the heavy truth sinking in. This isn't a fight they can win. The mushroom hero swallows hard. For the first time since entering this world, he understands what rank really means. Power isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply decides whether you're allowed to stand or crushed where you are. The blazing aura fades, and the mighty bird collapses to the ground with a heavy thud. The tiny chicks rush forward, chirping anxiously, their fear replaced by desperate hope. The once terrifying predator now lies motionless, blood trailing from its beak. For the first time, the forest falls silent. Then, a blinding burst of light erupts from the fallen body. The mushroom and pig freeze in shock, their eyes wide as the glow engulfs everything around them. Something is changing, something far beyond their understanding. And under the quiet night sky, as the crescent moon watches from above, a new presence begins to awaken. The battle is over, but the story has just begun. The night grows quiet, but the danger hasn't passed. The giant bird monster lies on the ground, its massive body barely moving under the dim starlight. For a moment, it looks like the battle is over, but then its eye slowly opens. A faint glow flickers inside. Nearby, the little chicks tremble as heat suddenly builds around them. Flames burst to life. The fire spreads quickly, wrapping around the tiny bodies like a blazing shield. They chirp in panic as the burning aura rises higher and higher. And that's when the fallen bird reacts. Its eyes snap open wide. With a furious cry, the giant creature lifts its head, its voice echoing through the night sky. The message is clear. No matter how injured it is, it will not allow anyone to harm its young. Even on the brink of defeat, a parent's instinct is stronger than pain. And now, the battlefield is about to ignite once again. The flames grow brighter, and within them, the tiny chicks begin to stir. Wrapped in fire like a warm blanket, they chirp softly as they wake up, completely unaware of the chaos that happened around them. Their small bodies glow with heat, their feathers flickering like living torches. From the ground nearby, the giant bird watches closely. Its sharp eye softens for a moment, seeing that its children are safe. But that moment of calm doesn't last long. Just a few steps away, Piggy lies on the ground, fast asleep. Snore, snore. Completely relaxed, completely unaware of the danger he had just caused. The crackling firelight dances across the battlefield, and the giant bird slowly turns its head toward him. Its feathers flare, its eyes narrow. A deep wave of anger begins to rise. How dare this creature attack it and then sleep so peacefully? The air grows tense again, because the next thing that giant bird decides to do could change everything. The night grows heavier. Around the small fire, the tiny chicks huddled together, their flames flickering softly in the darkness. Piggy still sleeps nearby, completely unaware, snoring peacefully as if nothing happened. But the giant bird is not calm. Slowly, painfully, it tries to rise. Its claws dig into the earth as it forces its battered body to move. Every motion looks exhausting, every breath heavy with pain. Still, it refuses to stay down. The bird gathers what little strength it has left and pushes against the ground. For a moment, it almost stands, but the damage is too severe. With a sudden crash, its body collapses again, slamming back into the dirt and sending dust flying into the air. The forest echoes with the impact. Even so, the giant bird keeps struggling. Because no matter how injured it is, no matter how tired its wings feel, it cannot fall. Not while its children are still here. Not while danger still surrounds them. And somewhere in the darkness, the next move is already waiting to happen. Even after leveling up, the poison still wouldn't disappear. This wasn't an ordinary toxin. It was a synthetic poison, something unnatural, something designed to stay inside the body no matter how strong you became. The giant bird lay weak on the ground, its breathing shallow, its eyes barely open. The poison was spreading faster than expected. Nearby, two potions clinked together. Clink, clink. Blue and green liquids shimmered inside the glass flasks as if reacting to each other. Mixing them might be the only way to create an antidote strong enough to fight the poison. The creature slowly lifted its head. At that moment, a strange device nearby began to tremble. Shake, shake. Inside the small glass tube, a mysterious substance started reacting violently, as if sensing the poison's presence. Something was happening, and whatever it was, it might be the only chance to survive. Under the quiet night sky, the small mushroom finally moved. Weak but determined, it slowly reached toward the scattered equipment beside the fallen bird. Bottles clinked softly as the mushroom hero searched through the mess. At that moment, the bird's eyes slowly opened. Mushroom? Its voice was weak, barely a whisper. Seeing the tiny figure moving around, the bird sighed in relief. "Oh, you're finally awake, huh?" But the mushroom hero didn't respond. Instead, it carefully grabbed a small test tube filled with a strange liquid. The moment it held the tube, its entire body began to tremble. Energy surged through the tiny creature. Then suddenly, the mushroom hero's eyes glowed bright red in the darkness. A wide, unsettling smile spread across its face as it lifted the tube high into the air. Something had changed. Whatever reaction was happening inside that small vial, it had awakened something completely different inside the mushroom hero. The bird's instincts screamed in warning. Something about the mushroom hero felt different, dangerous. Sweat rolled down its face as it stared at the tiny creature standing in front of it. Before the bird could react, the mushroom hero suddenly jumped forward. "Here, drink up!" Without hesitation, it shoved the test tube straight into the bird's beak, forcing the strange liquid down its throat. The bird struggled weakly, but its body was too exhausted to resist. The potion quickly slid down. Helpless, completely powerless, the bird clenched its eyes in frustration. "Damn it, I don't even have the strength to resist a low-ranking monster anymore." The humiliation burned deeper than the poison inside its body. But what the bird didn't realize yet was that the small mushroom hero wasn't trying to harm it. That strange liquid might actually be the only thing standing between life and death. The moment the liquid went down, something changed. The bird's eyes widened in shock as a strange energy spread through its body. The poison was still there, but the antidote had begun to fight back. Then suddenly, its body gave out. The bird collapsed onto the ground, breathing heavily as the medicine started working inside it. Beside the fallen bird, glowing messages quietly appeared. SP+1, SP+1, SP+1. The mushroom hero had gained spirit points again. Standing near the scattered potions, the small hero calmly watched the bird. "The antidote reached the lower half of your body," the mushroom hero said quietly. "It's a good thing they brought the antidote, but it will take some time to fully work, so don't struggle too much." The night grew quiet again. After a moment, the bird slowly lifted its head, its sharp eyes staring directly at the tiny mushroom hero. Confusion, curiosity, and suspicion filled its gaze. Then it finally asked the question that had been on its mind. "Why did you save me?" The bird's question lingered in the quiet night. "Why did you save me?" For a moment, the mushroom hero said nothing. It simply looked at the injured bird with calm eyes. Then, it finally spoke. "What will happen to the children if you die?" The words were simple, but they carried weight. Nearby, the small creatures slept peacefully by the fire. A round pig snored softly on a leaf bed, while the tiny chicks huddled together in the warmth of the flames, completely unaware of the danger that had nearly taken their protector away. The mushroom hero had seen them, small, helpless, waiting for someone to keep them safe. Back in the present, the bird lowered its head. Silence filled the air. For the first time since this battle began, the fierce giant bird had no words to answer, because deep down, it knew the mushroom hero was right. Slowly, the injured bird forced its body up. The antidote was working, but every movement still hurt. Flames from the campfire flickered as the guardian struggled to stand. The small mushroom hero watched quietly from behind. We don't have any bad intentions," the mushroom hero said with an awkward smile. "We just wanted to go to the Mushroom Kingdom. We were only passing by." The bird said nothing. Instead, it turned its head and looked toward the campfire. The little pig with the ribbon slept peacefully on a leaf bed, snoring softly. Beside the fire, the tiny chicks rested safely in the warmth. For a moment, the bird simply watched them. Then it spoke in a low, serious voice. "Just you and that ribbon pig? The path to the Mushroom Kingdom is filled with powerful monsters." Its sharp eyes looked toward the dark forest beyond the fire. "Even if you somehow make it that far." The bird paused before glancing down at the mushroom. "As a mushroom, you might survive." Then its gaze shifted toward the sleeping pig. "But that pig." The rest of the sentence hung heavily in the night air. The night slowly settles again after the chaos. Nearby, Piggy sleeps peacefully on the ground, drooling slightly as he dreams about food, a big piece of meat floating right in front of him. To him, the battle is already over. But the mushroom hero is still awake. He steps forward carefully, looking toward the injured giant bird. Curious, but cautious. Tilting his head, the tiny mushroom finally asks, What's wrong?" For a moment, the giant bird simply watches him. Despite the wounds covering its body, its eyes are calm now. Then, with a low voice, the bird speaks. "Do you really not know? The king of the Mushroom Kingdom is actually quite famous." The words hang in the cool night air. The mushroom hero blinks in confusion. Famous? King? What exactly does the bird mean? Slowly, a much bigger mystery begins to unfold, because this tiny mushroom might not just be an ordinary creature. He may belong to something far greater than he ever imagined. The giant bird slowly explains the truth. In the distance, the shadow of a massive crowned mushroom looms in the imagination, the ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom. "Not just humans," the bird says quietly, "but any monster that doesn't belong to the mushroom tribe. Once they get near that land, they will be attacked without question. The rule is absolute, no outsiders, no exceptions." Hearing this, the mushroom hero suddenly understands why the bird reacted so angrily before. He had asked the bird to take them to the Mushroom Kingdom, but for the bird, that request was almost the same as asking it to walk straight into danger. The little mushroom lowers his head, thinking, "So that's why. No wonder it got so angry when I asked." But then, what about Piggy? Just as he says that, suddenly the giant bird's sharp face moves close, staring directly at him. Its glowing eyes narrow. The air grows tense again. Piggy instantly wakes up, trembling as he sees the bird's furious face inches away. His teeth chatter loudly. What do you want to do?" And once again, the night becomes dangerously quiet. The tension snaps. Startled by the giant bird suddenly leaning closer, the tiny mushroom instinctively jumps back. Step after step, he retreats, his little feet kicking up dust as panic flashes across his face. The bird watches him carefully. Then, surprisingly, it tilts its head. "You're very weird." The words land unexpectedly. The mushroom freezes for a moment, blinking in confusion. "Weird? Me? Weird? How?" he blurts out, pointing at himself. In his mind, the situation feels completely reversed. After all, from his perspective, the giant fiery bird that nearly burned everything to ashes is the strange one here. But the bird continues staring at him with sharp, thoughtful eyes.
because to the bird, something about this mushroom is truly unusual. A creature from the mushroom kingdom, traveling with outsiders, protecting monsters that should be enemies. None of it makes sense. And the more the bird looks at him, the more curious it becomes, because this tiny mushroom might be far different from the others of his kind.
The giant bird slowly stepped closer to the tiny mushroom, its sharp claws pressing into the ground. Its piercing eyes studied the little creature carefully. "A normal mushroom monster like you should be nothing more than a brainless creature," the bird said in a low voice. "But you are intelligent." The mushroom froze. The atmosphere suddenly felt heavy. The bird leaned closer, its glowing eyes narrowing with a strange interest. "A low-ranking monster with intelligence like yours is extremely rare," it continued. "If my children were to eat you, you would become the perfect tonic for them." A drop of saliva slid down its beak. The meaning was clear. The mushroom's eyes widened in shock. "Hey, you—" Fear rushed through its tiny body. Slowly, step by step, the mushroom began backing away, retreating, because the creature it had just saved might now be thinking about eating it instead. The bird suddenly threw its head back and burst into loud laughter. The sharp, echoing sound filled the quiet night sky. "I'm just messing with you. Coo-coo-coo-coo-coo." The tension that had filled the air moments ago slowly faded. The tiny mushroom froze for a second, then let out a nervous sigh. "Big brother, my spores almost leaked out, okay?" it muttered, still shaken from the scare. The giant bird looked down at the small creature again, its expression now calmer, more serious. "I'm not like those humans. Humans who plunder everything they see just to satisfy their selfish desires." The flames of the campfire flickered between them. In that moment, the mushroom realized something important. This powerful bird wasn't cruel. It was simply protecting what mattered most, its children. The campfire crackled softly under the quiet night sky. After everything that had happened, the atmosphere had finally calmed down. The little mushroom looked up at the stars, its small eyes filled with curiosity. Then it asked something unexpected. Didn't monsters and humans live together peacefully a long time ago? Its voice was calm, almost innocent. Why can't we go back to a time like that? For the mushroom, the idea seemed simple. A world where monsters didn't fear humans, and humans didn't hunt monsters. A world where creatures could simply live side by side. But questions like that weren't so easy to answer, because somewhere in history, something had broken that peace. And once trust between two worlds shatters, it's never easy to rebuild it again.